Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara. Today we're leading off with a significant development in the world of politics and religion. Three prominent Catholic cardinals in the United States have issued a joint statement criticizing the Trump administration's foreign policy, citing concerns over its impact on human dignity and global peace. According to reports from multiple sources, including NPR and Reuters, Cardinals Blase Cupich, Robert McElroy, and Joseph Tobin, who are the archbishops of Chicago, Washington, D.C., and Newark, New Jersey, respectively, expressed their disapproval of the administration's actions in a statement released on Monday. Without directly mentioning President Trump by name, they emphasized that the country's moral role in promoting human dignity, religious liberty, and peaceful relations around the world is under scrutiny. The Cardinals specifically mentioned several recent events, including the U.S. military action in Venezuela, the threats to seize Greenland, and cuts to humanitarian aid, as examples of policies that undermine international relations and risk plunging the world into suffering. They also referenced a speech by Pope Leo XIV, who expressed concerns over the increasing reliance on force in international diplomacy. It's worth noting that this is not the first time the U.S. Catholic Church has spoken out against the Trump administration's policies. In November, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops condemned the administration's mass deportation campaign and its treatment of immigrants. The White House has not yet responded to the Cardinals' statement. President Trump has maintained that his administration's actions are necessary for national security and has defended his decisions on Venezuela, Greenland, and foreign aid. As we continue to follow this story, it's clear that the intersection of politics and religion will remain a significant topic of discussion in the days and weeks ahead. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're glad you're still with us as we dive into our second story of the day. Today we're taking a closer look at some international news that's making headlines around the globe. In North Korea, leader Kim Jong-un has been dealing with his own set of challenges, including managing his country's economy and military development. Recently, it was reported that one of Kim's high-ranking officials, a man named Yang, was publicly scolded and fired from his position due to the poor performance of a factory project. The project, which was intended to boost the country's economy, suffered significant losses due to what Kim described as irresponsible and incompetent management. Experts say that this move is typical of Kim's management style, where he often publicly criticizes and fires officials in an effort to create tension and pressure among his senior leadership. However, some argue that the real issue lies with North Korea's fundamental structural problems, including its focus on weapons development and highly centralized economy. Meanwhile, in the world of sports, another individual named Kim, Ha-Sung Kim, a shortstop for the Atlanta Braves, is facing his own challenges. The 30-year-old athlete recently underwent surgery to repair a torn tendon in his right middle finger and is expected to be out for 4 to 5 months. This setback comes as a disappointment to fans, who were looking forward to seeing Kim back on the field after a strong performance last season. Instead, the Braves will have to rely on other players, such as Mauricio Dubon, to fill the gap until Kim's return. As we take a closer look at these two stories, it's clear that leadership and management styles can have a significant impact on outcomes, whether it's in politics or sports. While Kim Jong-un's approach may be intended to drive results, it's also important to consider the potential consequences of such tactics on morale and overall performance. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we close out today's show, I want to bring attention to a couple of disturbing stories that have been unfolding around the world. First, in Nigeria, gunmen have abducted over 150 worshippers from 3 churches in simultaneous attacks. The incident occurred on Sunday in the Kajuru area of Kaduna State, while services and Mass were underway at the Evangelical Church Winning All, a church belonging to the denomination Cherubim and Seraphim, and a Catholic church. According to local authorities, as of yesterday, 177 people were missing and only 11 have been accounted for. No group has taken responsibility for the attack, which is not uncommon in Nigeria, where multiple gangs and religious armed groups often target remote communities with limited security and government presence. The northern region of the country has been hit hardest by such attacks. Meanwhile, in Sudan, aid workers and women are bearing the brunt of violence amid a deadly conflict. In an interview with ABC News, Dr. Tom Katina, the only full-time doctor serving a population of over 3 million in the Nuba Mountains, emphasized that funding is crucial to providing aid. "Without funding, you can't do anything," he said. "You can be the best doctor in the world and have the best staff, but you're totally useless without funding." These stories highlight the urgent need for attention and support from the international community. As we conclude today's show, I want to emphasize the importance of staying informed about global events and advocating for those affected by conflict and violence. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.